Lauren, what are you doing?
Enjoying my delicious cottage cheese.
You know that's on your food sensitivity list. You know your belly's going to be hurting in like 10 minutes after you eat that.
You know, you taught me the cheats about digestive enzymes that I can eat the foods on my food sensitivity list and just take a few of these and I'll be good to go. No tummy ache.
Oh my goodness, you are the fastest learning student ever.
I'm so smart.
He's so smart. Yep, absolutely. All about cheats. That's how we do it. Hi, welcome this week to The Naked Doctor. I'm Dr. Tammy.
I'm Lauren.
We have a great show for you today. It's the New Year's, and we try to keep things kind of evergreen, but we just kind of can't look around the fact that it is New Year's and everyone is going to start stepping into resolutions.
Yeah, New Year's resolutions that we never follow.
Exactly.
It's like that first couple weeks, you're like gung-ho, you know, you're like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then, you know, when somebody asks you about it, like a month later, you pretend you don't hear the question because, you know, you've already stopped doing whatever the resolution was, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just about finding that resolution that's actually attainable and something that you can do consistently that's gonna last. Yeah.
It's funny, you always see all these gym memberships, all these people sign up, and then like the first week, even after the first couple of days, the gym's going to be crazy busy,
Yep.
and then after that, it just goes dead. It's like most people don't even get through a week of making those really big resolutions before they're.
They get like the 2 days in there, like I did it, and then yeah, it's just wah, wah. And it's like every year, it's almost a guarantee. Whatever it is, gym it's like a pretty obvious one that you know I'm going to the gym all the time. But then also what sucks about that is that when you go to the gym, you know, in the beginning of the year, you're like, gosh, it's so crowded, I couldn't even do anything, you know?
Right, yeah.
So you got a lot of things working against you too,
Yeah.
for your resolution. So it's just hard to really be consistent with those and actually make them happen.
So this show is going to be all about cheating.
How to cheat your way to
How
success.
to cheat your way to success. And how to really work around some of those things that are the resistance that's gonna get in your way on the trail, and how to work around that, how to cheat, how to make it as easy as possible, how to make it as, you know, how to work around flexibly your schedule and those kinds of things as you're trying to change any aspect of your life.
Basically, it's like having putting yourself in a position where you can eliminate all excuses, you know.
Yes.
And
that's what it comes down to, is that's
Yeah.
really what drives us, keep us from our goals, is excuses.
and we will be the first and the quickest to create them, you know, and validate and justify them in our mind, like, oh, I can't do this because of this, or, you know. And it's really like, you know, that voice in you is exactly what keeps you from, you know, reaching those goals and making those changes in your life. Because, you know, it's the change on any level is discomfort that you have to go through to change and to grow. And so of course we're going to try to talk our way out of some kind of discomfort, you know, and justify it however we can, but pushing through that and having an easy way to do it, and having the tools to get past those you know, roadblocks is definitely something that will help with that. So
It's always about the tools. All right, so we're going to take a little break. We'll be right back with the Naked Doctor, and we'll talk about cheating. Hi, welcome back to the Naked Doctor. I'm Dr. Tammy.
I'm Lauren.
We are doing New Year's resolutions and cheats.
All the easy ways to actually achieve your New Year's resolutions.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. So one of the things I think that people do is they overextend themselves with their ideas of what it is that they want to achieve. And so they go do big things like join a gym with really no concrete plan.
Well, it's almost like it's like the focus is so on the outcome of the goal as opposed to creating a habit that actually creates that outcome. You know, because it's like, of course you want to be this, that, or the other, or, you know, you want the results of these things, but, you know, when you don't really think about what that actually takes and what you would have to execute in order to make it happen, you know, you're going to end up disappointing yourself.
Right.
And then being even more defeated, which is going to probably make your problem almost worse than it was before you started.
You're going to beat yourself up, and then you're going to feel bad, and you're going to have even more resistance. And then I almost think it's like when you, let's say if you were trying to quit something, like quit smoking, and you think about how you've tried to quit in the past, what were the things that actually were kind of leading you to success? Or if you've lost weight in the past, what actually kind of worked for you for a little while?
Yeah.
And then to evaluate, well, what were the things that triggered you to go back? Or what were the things that triggered you to lose that momentum? And to me, when you don't have the habits in place, the habits are everything, because the habit is always going to keep you coming back. The why, of course, is very important.
Right, because it's like, what motivated you enough to, you know, start that?
Create the habit.
Right, create the habit. And what happens is because whatever that is that's motivating us is so powerful, you know, like we're like, all right, we can do this, you know? But what happens is that motivation is just what is directing you to what you want, but what keeps you in that position is discipline.
Yeah.
And, you know, consistency. And that's where it's hard, because it takes self-control. And, you know, we can dream all day, and we can start something all day, but where you really get the value in something is finishing it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
nobody wants to lose. Nobody wants to be a failure or anything. So it's like, to me, set yourself up for those little wins.
Yeah.
So that when, you know, if you say, I'm going to go to the gym every day for, you know, 6 days a week or 7, you're not going to do that.
Right.
Especially starting out, you're not going to do that. If you could just say, I'm going to put on my tennis shoes and walk to the mailbox every morning when I get up, that's doable. You know, and that's not going to blow the bank of you feeling like a failure if you don't, you know, walk to the mailbox one morning.
Or even like 5 days a week, you know, so it's like you're giving yourself a little bit of room to not beat yourself up, you know, if someday you were just exhausted or whatever the case, you know, and also it'll give you the ability to actually push past the point that you set that expectation of yourself, right? So
do a little bit more.
Yeah, which is so rewarding, and you're like, oh, okay, I can do more. You know what I mean? Which only just motivates you to just continue.
Sure.
So,
well, cheats have been a huge part of everything that I do, because I'm busy. I'm a mom. You know, I'm a business owner. I'm a doctor. I have all these other creative projects that I do, and I just don't have a whole lot of time. And when you think about what sabotages people, it's the excuses. The number one excuse is, I don't have time. I don't have time to eat right. I don't have time to exercise. I don't have time to do all the things that I want to do to get healthy. And that's not a good excuse and that's why I always encourage people to work with us or someone like our team, because why reinvent the wheel? Why not work objectively with someone who can help you identify how to maximize your time, but also how to find time in the cracks. Sometimes places where you're using excuses like, how much TV are you watching?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and there's a lot of things that we do during the day that, like, you know, I feel like when people say that, it's like that thought has been embedded in our heads, or like, you know, things not being possible because we're doing that or that, this or that, the other. And so we accept that as reality, and that as a valid or good excuse for not achieving the things or doing the things that we need to be doing in order to reach our goals. And so, you know, it's not it's sometimes like, it's about, you know, like you said, coming to talk to us and everything, and really like kind of dissecting your day and figuring out, like, look, there are ways to do things, and it doesn't have to be that you have to go to the gym and work out for an hour and a half. And I'm never in the gym for even an hour. I mean, I'm like 30 minutes, like sprint, you know, in, out, done, you know, and it's doable, you know what I mean? And it's like, even if I have busy day. But that's because that's discipline,
it's
and
priority.
It's just, it's like if I don't go, then then how I'm gonna feel after that, I want to avoid, because the guilt I'm gonna put on myself is a lot worse than any pain that I could think of going through in the actual gym. So I'm like, I just go. He's got to go. Do it. But yeah. So
well, and since we're talking about exercise, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to break this down kind of by category in the segment and over into the next segment, by exercise, diet, stress, all the things that we can look at, that we can kind of inject some cheats to make things a little bit easier for you. But exercise alone is one of my cheats. So I'm going to talk about how to cheat while exercising. But exercise alone is a cheat because it allows me to eat so much more than I normally would. And
so much of what you actually want to eat, like junk food or whatever.
I seriously do not think about it. And I'm not telling you to go out and eat whatever you want to, because if you have the right cheats in place, you can do that. And I do that. And, most people probably look at my diet, or, they probably say, oh, she's probably like the cleanest eater in the world. And, you know me, I am not. And so I literally do not even think about food. I don't think about the food that I put in my mouth, other than, we'll talk about diet here in just a minute, other than these little cheats that I have become part of my lifestyle. They're not just cheats. I don't just pull them out of the bag when I kind of need them or when I've done something wrong. They help me strategize time management and how to maximize everything that I'm doing.
Right.
So exercise alone, I know that because that little thought does pop in my head sometimes, like when I'm having that second piece of pizza, it's kind of like, oh, but I'm going to the gym tomorrow. And that's a real thing. I know that the fact that I'm going to the gym and those micro habits that I create over time, because I don't go to the gym every day, but I go enough times a week that it allows me to eat the things that I want to and have that freedom.
And not just say, oh, I'll eat this because I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow, gym later, and then not go. Because that's where you really, that's, kind of like the same thing like with a credit card. When you're like, oh, I'll pay that off later or whatever. And then, you get in debt, and then suddenly you're filing for bankruptcy. You know what I mean? It's like if you don't, it's like if you don't have the discipline to follow through with the what you tell yourself you're going to do, then you're going to really get yourself in trouble with that. So, but yeah, there's a way to balance it all, because if you do know that you have the discipline to do this or that's something consistent, it's like, all right, I can these other things that I don't have as much self-control over, I can find a balance in these things, because I know that this is consistent all the time. And even like if you can't go to the gym, there are cheats. You're in the house, you're doing work, whatever. Do some jumping jacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Do some push-ups. Can't do push-ups. Do girl push-ups. Whatever. If that's a technical term for them, which is whatever. It's annoying.
Well, you know me, I'm a big proponent of interval training, high intensity interval training.
Absolutely.
And what that does is, I like to kind of tell the story a little bit. The guy, Dr. Tabata, who actually kind of protocoled out what interval training is, studied people in the lab and checked their insulin levels, their thyroid, their male and female hormone levels, and he found that this particular form of exercise was the way to maximize, with the least amount of time, how those hormones work. So when you do interval training, it actually, from a hormone standpoint, continues to burn fat for you for up to 48 hours. So literally, if you do interval training, you only have to go to the gym 3 times a week. My regimen in the gym, literally, you said 30 minutes in and out, is 3 times a week. Sometimes I'll do more if I have more time, usually not. But I go to the gym 3 times a week. I'll get on the elliptical because it's easy on my knees. I'll do really high intensity with rest periods. And at first it's hard to do that really high intensity without resting longer. But when you get that down, like my interval training is down to less than 5 or 6 minutes. I mean, I just get in there, I knock it out. I run like I'm being chased by a bear. Then I, take my break and then go again. And that's it. And then the rest of it's just a few little, free weights or some strength training or some core work or something, but that's it.
Yeah, so it's like instead of going, because for me, like going and running for 45 minutes or whatever on a treadmill,
just shoot me.
Yeah, I'm like, I may as well bang my head into a wall.
Yeah.
But like the Stairmaster, I think is definitely probably the best thing that you could do in the gym. If you're going to do one thing, would be the Stairmaster, because you're working out, your quads. It's the biggest muscle, and it's causing your heart rate to go higher than any other muscle you're
Sure,
going to
some
work
more resistance.
Right.
I might start doing the Stairmaster because
Yeah,
I
so-
usually just do the
yeah.
elliptical
And
because
it's
I go
easy.
fast.
Well, and it's easy on the knees too. Because like I feel like with the elliptical, for me personally, like I like to do like moving fast on the elliptical. Like I don't feel like I can move fast enough on the. And it may just because I don't do
without the resistance.
Yeah, it must be a resistance thing or whatever. But like I like, because whenever you're actually on the the Stairmaster for 15 minutes, you could do like a 2-minute warm up on like a 6 or 7, and then go up to a 10, and then back down to 6, and then up to an 11, and then back down to 6, and then you just switch those off every minute and a half.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like in a 15-minute period, you're going to be drenched in sweat, but it's actually doable because that minute and a half that you're doing that, like it's like, oh, it's so intense, but like you have like 15 seconds to wait, and then you get to rest for like
that's what the whole interval thing is. Yeah,
right. So that's why interval training is actually
amazing.
a lot easier. It's better for you, but it's actually easier too than going and running on the treadmill for 45 minutes.
And stressing your body or going and doing all sorts of things that would really stress your body out.
Yeah, so it's amazing, and also while you're doing that, you're getting you're getting those glutes. You're getting your legs are looking nice when you're doing the Stairmaster. So there's a lot of things in one that you can do with the Stairmaster.
Switch that over. Thank you.
Yeah, girl.
I learned something new today too. And it's all about time efficiency and just really maximizing things. So like you said, you could do that at home. You could do that with some jumping jacks. When I first started exercising, I started out doing the Just Dance on there. I love to dance.
Oh, yeah.
So, there's so many things. You could get a little video from the library for absolutely free and just do a little dance video, anything.
Even if it's for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, just something.
Everybody has 10 minutes. You have the time for what you want to have the time for.
Yeah,
and remember that, because not having time is not an excuse.
It's not.
It's really not.
No, not when I can do my workout in less than 10 minutes, and I spend longer than that curling my hair. So yeah, time is not an excuse.
That's actually good. That's a good one. It's like, okay, do you get ready in the morning? Because it's like if you have time to curl your hair,
How
you
much
have
time do you work on that kind of stuff? Yeah, yeah, the time is there for sure.
Totally.
Looks like it's probably time for a break, so we're going to take a little break, and we're going to come back with some cheats, some different life cheats, and some different cheats around what you eat as well. And of course, it's going to be all connected to hormones. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to The Naked Doctor. We have a great show for you this week. It's on cheats and how to maximize your resolution. So we talked about the 3 R's, which is releasing resistance. So release the resistance is just your excuses or your lack of clarity on what it is you want. So defining your why is really important. It's not enough just to say, well, I want to lose weight. How much weight do you want to lose, and what would that actually mean in your life if you were X amount of pounds thinner, or what would that mean for your self-image, or what would that mean? Some people, I've had patients just say, I just like to sit on an airplane without having to buy 2 seats,
Oh, wow.
Just as specific as you can about what your why is, because that's going to keep you grounded. And then working with a health coach or getting your hormones checked, because sometimes people just feel so tired that they feel like they don't even have the energy to do the things that we encourage them to do as we're coaching them.
Right, and it's like, at the same time, sometimes like when people may be, working their butts off to make a change in their life, and if your hormones are not balanced, guess what? Your body's not changing. Yeah. And so that's really frustrating when it's like, why am I even trying whenever nothing's I am working my butt off, and it's like I can't lose a pound, and it's because your hormones are off balance. That's the foundation of Absolutely. The way that your body operates. And so without that flowing, it's like a car. If you're not putting, gas in your car, or the right gas, or like these wires, aren't connected correctly, then it's not going to move. It's not going to go forward.
Right.
And so it's just a matter.
And you lose momentum, and then you give up, and then you lose that, motivation and all that, because it's not working.
Yeah, because when you don't, one of the biggest and best things that happens whenever you're going towards a goal is seeing results. Like that is, if that's not the best motivation, it's like, oh my gosh, look, I just made this, I did this, and it's so empowering. And when you feel like you're working so hard and nothing's changing, yeah, why try?
Yeah.
What am I doing? Why am I trying?
Well, when you're younger, and your hormones are balanced, you can eat a little less and exercise a little more, and you get results.
Yeah.
And when your hormones aren't, or you're going through menopause, or men, they're losing their testosterone, they don't not getting results anymore. They're like, what the heck? And then they
it's like, how am I gaining weight? Yeah, totally. And I've seen it with so many patients, which is a beautiful thing, just to see that, like, hey, you could still, like, you won't even have to work that hard, because once you're in balance, like, it actually doesn't even take that much. It
doesn't.
So that's a beautiful thing. So
yeah, and you have more flexibility too. It's like, I've been out for a little minor surgery and then had a little bit of a cold, and so literally it's been almost a month since I have been able to go to the gym. I've done other little things, but I don't feel like I've lost that much momentum.
Yeah.
And so that really allows you to kind of look at it from like a marathon, not a sprint, the bigger picture. But definitely that's another cheat. It's getting your hormones balanced, which is such an easy thing that we do that definitely makes it much easier across the board for everything.
And the other thing was the food, right? So our food sensitivities that I know that people have issues with, that's making them gain weight, these foods that we're sensitive to. So that one of the cheats that you were telling me about, which is awesome, where you can still eat these foods and not have the same effects that you have been having, and you can kind of monitor that and keep control of that, was with the...
Well, yeah, and I want to kind of talk about some supplements here, and this is not a show to sell supplements, but I want just people to understand that from a hormone physiological standpoint, one of the things that is the major regulators of fat gain and fat loss, which is what everybody wants to look better, feel better, have better energy, better health, is a hormone called leptin. And leptin is your hormone that signals you to be full, whether you eat more or not, your appetite, right? Everybody's always like, I need an appetite suppressant, and we want that quick fix. Well, here's your cheat. Here's your quick fix to leptin. One of the things that triggers leptin resistance, where leptin doesn't work, the signals aren't working, is inflammation. And so when we eat foods that trigger inflammation that you may even be aware of, everybody knows kind of foods like gluten and sugar can all be inflammatory foods.
Dairy.
When you eat those foods and it causes inflammation in your system, those signals don't work anymore, and it's just noise. And so feeling full is kind of out the door, right? So that's one of the issues. So we do a test where we can identify foods that trigger inflammation specifically for you. And then we have a very specific program where we help heal the gut and decrease those inflammatory foods. So I know for me, now that I know this, I keep my hormones balanced. I know what foods cause inflammation in my system. And I'm very careful about how much of those quantities and how often I eat those things. And then I also do this little thing called digestive enzymes, which is a very good cheat, because if you get that gas or bloating after you eat something that you're sensitive to, then it calms all that down too. And I don't get that brain fog that I get when I'm eating gluten or something like that I'm not supposed to be eating. But yeah, so this is a nice little cheat.
Would this help with not with those foods not causing inflammation?
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool.
So it helps digest it better so that it doesn't actually stay around longer and trigger that inflammation. So that's awesome. I love fish oil. Fish oil is a natural anti-inflammatory. I take a ton of this, and it's so awesome to decrease inflammation in the system. So this is a really big thing too. And this is our metabolic pack, which has iodine, which helps your thyroid work better, and all sorts of different things that work with your metabolism.
Does this have leptin in it?
No. Leptin is actually a hormone that doesn't work. There was some stuff that came out about leptin, about using leptin to make people feel fuller and that kind of thing. Leptin's just one of those trigger hormones more than anything. And so we have to kind of maximize leptin versus you can't really get leptin.
You can't really supplement it.
Right.
I got you.
And so one of the reasons for that is because it becomes resistant. They did studies. They actually gave mice leptin thinking it would make them feel fuller and not eat. Well, the receptors all got saturated, and then it didn't work anymore. So that's what's happening in our society now, is that because of all this inflammation, our signaling is gone. It's like a noisy room. You can't even hear people talking anymore. The signaling is gone. And so that fullness, satiety kind of sensation is out the window with leptin's response now. So yeah, you can't really give leptin for that reason. But lots of good things in here that help that as well. And another cheat is a good protein shake. Having that on, when you don't have time to fix a meal, or when you're in a rush, or you're trying to get out the door, this is a great little solution to have. You can also keep rice milk or something that's not really perishable in the car if you want to like have an instant mix or something like that. So I do a protein shake almost every morning. Sometimes when I get home, if I'm tired or if I, don't want to fix dinner or, whatever the case may be, it's just a quick little cheat as well. So
yeah, and another thing to add to that is sometimes like when we think that we're hungry, we're actually just thirsty.
Yeah.
And so drinking some water first.
Yeah.
And even like if you are hungry, drinking a big glass of water before you actually eat your meal can help you from overeating or gouging, just annihilating the food and eating way more than you should eat, because obviously our eyes are much bigger than our stomach can actually handle or should be handling, kind of like whenever our brains think about our goals, and think about the reality of actually achieving them. But similar concept there. But yeah, so just little cheats like that are nice to have and help you kind of keep on track with those, especially like weight loss goals and stuff. So
yeah. Well, gosh, this went really fast this week, so we're probably out of time for a whole lot of cheats. Maybe we'll do a cheats part 2, because there's so much more that we can help you cheat with.
Totally. Yep.
Great stuff. Hope you have a wonderful new year and that you set all sorts of visions and goals and beautiful things for 2019 for yourselves and for your families, and just really help design what that new year is going to look like, that new you, focusing on inside out, the beauty inside out, hormone balance, feeling good relationships. We have so much planned for 2019, so you just have to stay tuned. Just exciting things, and we really want to help you make this the best life possible and a blessed life with so much love and joy around you that you just won't even be able to stand it. So take a little break and we'll be right back with Naked Doctor. Thank you so much for being here with us this week on The Naked Doctor, naked truth about health, wellness, and lifestyle. Hope we've shared some fun things about all the above with you, our little cheats, how to make this a beautiful year, how to start setting some little micro goals to lead to some bigger, awesome goals.
Yep. Hopefully some of these helped you, and we'll continue to give tips and cheats and everything. And like you said, we might do another part 2 show. If you have any questions or anything, you can always send us a message on Facebook or Instagram. You can go to the website healingartcenters.com. We have 2 Facebooks, The Naked Doctor Show and Dr. Tammy's Healing Art Centers. So just send us a message and we will respond. We be glad to connect with you on whatever level. Or if you have a topic suggestion, you can always message us and we'll do that too.
And I just thought I would love to hear your excuses, because we could do a whole show just on excuses, because if we know what your objections are, or your excuses to forming a better life for yourself, then we can help you find those cheats. We can help you maximize those back doors.
We can find your objections to your objections.
We love it. Yeah. So if you have any, places where you think not enough time, I got to do this before I do that, or whatever your excuses are you currently use, we'd love to talk to you about that and help you find a way around that. So check us out, our social media and healingartcenters.com. Come see us, visit us. Love to help you with 2019's plans to be an awesome, beautiful, better version of the beautiful you that you are.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll see you back here next week on The Naked Doctor. Mwah.
Thanks for watching.